Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inspired by a Message. We're very excited. We got a special treat for you today. I'm your host, Brad, and my co-host, my lovely wife, Jay. And we have a guest in the studio today.
That's right.
I'll let you take it away and introduce our guest.
Today's message is still entrepreneurship, and we have one of the top entrepreneurs in our studio today, Mr. Edward Felder Jr. Not only is he an author, a real estate investor, a father, a mogul. What else? Did I leave anything out?
I think you got it covered.
He's phenomenal. So if you don't know about this man, I'm super excited for this show because we are going to learn everything. And this is a two-part series. So we have this gentleman on 2 times to give us all the golden nuggets.
Awesome.
Mr. Felder, thank you so much for being here. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're all about.
Listen, I'm all about taking a message and inspiring the masses.
I like that.
It's inspiring the masses. So basically, I'm from the Bronx. I'm from the South Bronx. So as you say, I started from the bottom.
Now we're here.
Now I'm here. So I've made it now, right? I'm at the top. I can retire. I can take my jacket off. But we're here now. So basically, I started out my career in banking.
Okay.
I was the banker who couldn't accept no for an answer.
Okay.
I thought, from the time I was 13, I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Okay. Why is that?
I told my mom and dad, my guidance counselor, there was a big meeting. I said, listen, I'm not going to high school. Listen, I'm not going, high school may have been great, but I had bigger plans for myself.
That's right.
I wasn't going to high school. I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to go to grad school, not to any grad school, but I wanted to go to the best grad school there was because I had an urgency to be the best entrepreneur there was.
Awesome.
At the age of 13, where everyone else wanted to be Dr. J and Larry Bird, I guess I'm telling my age, right? Not LeBron and not Kobe, not Westbrook, but back then, I wanted to be on the cover at Black Enterprise.
Wow.
I wanted to change the world. It's something radical. I didn't have any entrepreneurs around me, but that is something I wanted to do. So fast forward, I got tricked into going to high school, nonetheless. And so I took this entrepreneur thing really serious.
Sure.
And eventually I got accepted after college and grad school. I got accepted into, I don't know how, but I got accepted into the top banking training program in the country.
Wow.
The crazy thing about it is, I don't understand no. I am diametrically opposed to quitting. Literally. I don't know when no just means not right now.
Wow.
So I learned about the opportunity, right? So it's a like a window of opportunity. I learned about it 6 months after all 35 people had been accepted into the program.
Wow.
And they told me, never said that. They said, listen, you're a great candidate. We will have loved to have had you in our program. Were it not for you coming in 6 months late. So, they gave me a ray of hope and I held on to it. So for the next 6 months, I promise you, I called them at 8 o'clock, I called them at 12 o'clock, and I called them at 5 o'clock. Relentlessly. And to the point to say, listen, we have to open up another spot. We'll never get any more work done in this bank. And literally, I had maybe 31 interviews and they kept telling me, you're great. They're trying to find a spot for me in this particular program. But my relentlessness and ability to just keep trying got me into the program.
Nice.
And so I was one of only person I was actually from up north and got accepted into a program in the South. So actually after a 2-year program, believe it or not, I got accepted and said, go out. And so I was traveling, whether it was in Tampa, or whether it was in Atlanta or in Nashville. I would sit down at 24 years old. I was sitting down with a market president who was in charge of billions of dollars. And I would say, listen, this is how you underwrite a small business loan on behalf of the bank. And if you don't do it my way, then we're going to show you, you're going to have to find Craigslist for another opportunity. So I had that much power at the early age. So I got into banking and I loved it. And I was teaching bankers how to underwrite loans. And then from there, I moved forward and started, I left the bank after about 8 years. And I then took my expertise in structuring loans and teaching people about cash flow. And I started my own group.
Wow. That's huge.
Nice. That is powerful. And You know, some things that you said resonated with me. You know, we talk all the time about, you know, just being persistent and recognizing your passions and, you know, sticking with it. So, you know, kudos to you for that. And, you know, we are definitely, you know, blessed and excited to have you on the show today to share some information. So, you know, I was looking over your bio, and, you know, one of the things that I definitely wanted to ask here on the show was the funding guy.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the funding guy and what that represents, and what does that mean to the people that you come in contact with?
The funding guy is a brand we started literally out of thin air. So at the end of my time, I remember I was a banker, right? And we're just gonna I was working with a smaller bank, relocated to the south, and then my smaller bank got purchased by a big bank, no name, in America, right? Hint, hint. And so that bank said, listen, we are no longer doing subcontractor financing. We're no longer financing restaurants. We say, our brand says we love small business, but literally, I want you to go, all those loans you did when you were with the small bank, we want you to gracefully tell them that they have to exit the relationship, meaning that they have to take their business elsewhere.
Wow.
We'll keep their deposits, but we want their loans to go someplace else, because we're not really in the business of small business lending, although their brand said that. So, I mean, I was like, wow, like these people I worked, I mean, I had great relationships, good old boys from the South. Listen, I mean, you would never think, but they would send me Christmas gifts, they invite me to their house. Some of the greatest people you can imagine, right? They welcome me into their house. And to go into their store after calling on them for 6 months to get their business and say, you're no longer wanted, you're no longer needed, it's heartbreaking. So I created this brand. I left the bank, I said thanks, but no thanks. And I created this amazing brand. And our character is called the funding guy. So we want people to laugh out loud all the way to the bank. So with the funding guy, so I mean, most small businesses don't know about funding. They learn about funding, right, when they go to their bank and the bank says no. And by that time, your opportunity is gone, it's finished.
That's right.
Right, whether right here in the DMC right now, subcontracting opportunities are enormous.
That's true.
But most people, they get the contract, they do, 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years getting this amazing contract. Just to you get excited, you bounce off the ceiling, God, Jesus, thank you, we finally made it. And they see themselves, imagine winning a $5 million contract or $50 million contract. It happens, right?
That'd be huge, yeah.
And then being able to, at the last hour, at the 11th or 12th hour, saying, listen, I can't win this contract. I can't fulfill it because I don't have the money.
Wow.
And so that happens day in and day out. And so part of what I do is inspire. And then the other part, because I want them to win. Like you've done everything right, but no one ever taught you about finances. No one ever taught you to be financially astute. No one ever taught you to present or pitch. A lot of times we're pitching the wrong banker, left-sided, and we never get funding. And we want to know why.
Right.
But they may tell you at the end, well, we can't fund you because this, but that's too late. Opportunity is gone.
Yeah.
And once you blow one federal government contract, the system's all talk now. Good luck going to someplace else.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me backtrack a little bit, because as you were speaking, you keep using the word inspire, which I love, obviously, and he's not getting paid to use that word, by the way. So I want to know, you were 13 years old. First of all, that takes a lot of guts to tell somebody, especially your parents, look, I don't want to go to school, which you sound like my son, by the way, and I want to do what I want to do. But if there were no entrepreneurs, which for us, it's kind of the same thing. We didn't grow up with a lot of people who said, hey, reach for the stars and quit school and do what you want to do. What inspired you to have that fire and that passion inside of you at that early age, and to actually see it through when there was nobody motivating you kind of to do that? Was it your circumstances? Was it somebody in particular who said something? What was that thing for you?
Girl, you asking a question right now. You as they say in church, you done spoke a word. You done spoke a word. See, here's the thing. And if you follow me anywhere at all, I always say no more broke excuses. Like there are more excuses than a little bit out there.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we cling to an excuse like I can't do it. I'm not a morning person. They don't believe in me. We cling to that.
That's
and
true.
I was inspired by poverty. I didn't want it. I thought there was more to life. Yo, we lived in the we lived in the 3-family house. We were doing great. We had my father graduated #1 in the police academy. He came home, and you know, when he popped in the house, he would read encyclopedias just because he read.
Wow.
It would be summertime, and my dad would say, "Where's your homework at?" I'm like, dude, like it's the summer. It's no homework. It's Thanksgiving. It's Christmas break. There's no homework. What are you talking about? And what he would say to us all the time: make some homework. What that simply meant to us, your success is not dependent on anybody else except for you. Like there's no one coming to your rescue except for you. You have to be the rescue that you're looking for.
That's deep.
You have to be the rescue. So, I mean, those are things that formate in my mind as a young person, right? I simply wanted to win. I saw wealth everywhere around us. I lived in South Bronx, but if you went to the top of the roof like I did many a nights, and looked out, I could see the Twin Towers. I could see all of the wealth throughout Manhattan. It was almost there. I could almost grab it.
Wow.
But it was in my grasp. Our house was so cold. After my dad lost his job as a police officer. We lost all 3 cars. The house was so cold that we had 3-story house. And we had 5 bedrooms on each floor. Literally, our house, we had to cut it off with curtains and plastic, and we all lived in 2 rooms. It was that cold.
Wow.
It was so cold that our fish tank froze, and I don't eat fish to this day because my fish got froze. It was literally like a cube.
Wow.
So I mean, myself, my siblings, I don't see defeat. You cannot. There's nothing that you can do to me that says that it's going to kill you. Like I say something to this day: birth it or die. That's it. You have a dream, birth it. Like literally, you have to win. Like. Everyone is given something. Everyone has an incredible gift, right?
Right.
But somehow or another, they lose faith.
Yeah.
And I wrote a piece not too long ago. It says, your team sucks and you're losing today. Last night the Wizards lost, right? A horrible game. Sorry, you guys are here, right? But I'm not talking about your basketball team.
Yeah.
Is losing, you suck. I'm talking about us, you, Jay, Brad, everyone. The team sucks in this. I'm talking about athletics. I'm talking about the individuals who are closest to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The people who you tell your secret dreams and my passions. And I want to win. I want to open up a brand new restaurant. I want to have a show. I want to inspire the world. Inspire what? You barely, getting out of bed in the morning. They didn't want you, Oprah. They didn't believe in you. They don't believe in you. You're nothing. Right? Instead of pouring into you,
they suck the life right out of you.
They rain on your parade, right? And so I just find that you just have to win. Like I personally, some of my mentors I never met. My mentors are dead. I go into books and I read, and people who are alive, I follow them relentlessly. They don't even know I exist, but I follow everything they do, right? Well, writing a book. No one ever said anything about a book. Can we be honest? Can we talk?
Please,
it's just us here talking,
be
right?
honest.
Like literally, like my guidance counselor told me that, I'll be lucky. I'll be lucky if I succeed in community college.
Wow.
And so, but you know what? I'll show her. So I went to community college. My first year I was on academic probation, right? And so in my first English class, I got a D-,
Wow.
right, in English. Like I wasn't supposed to write.
Yeah.
Right? I wasn't supposed to be able to put words together and to inspire. Now I'm teaching people how to write bestsellers.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like the words are jumping off to people's pages, and it's immersing in their lives. It's riveting. And the problem is, when you pick up one of my books, you can't put it down now because I got you.
That is very true.
So the words is like, it's no longer Brad's issue that we're finding. When Brad is tripping and falling and cutting his knee, you're diving down there to try to help Brad out, because it's no longer Brad that you see when you read the book. It's yourself that you see in Brad's situation. Like, insurmountable, nothing is insurmountable, right?
Absolutely.
It's no longer impossible. We say it's inevitable. So, just some of those things that I wasn't supposed to win. I had no mentors, but I worked my way through it. With the internet right now, all day long, I would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and for 4 hours, I would research what my competitors aren't doing. I had to be better than them.
Wow.
I had to be better than them. I had to get up and write and inspire somebody, right? So it's not about me sometimes. And I ask people when they want to come write a book or when you want to start a business, why is that? Because it can't be about yourself. It's got to be something bigger than you.
Right, right.
Your why has to be strong enough. Yeah.
My why, I mean, your why, you say about your why, but then, say you get to that point, that first why. I have a saying that says, now what? You've gotten that thing, now what? You've gotten that BMW, you've gotten that Bentley. Now what do you keep doing? Do you rest or do you keep pursuing? Do you focus on leftovers or do you focus on legacy?
That's yeah.
He's speaking all the terms.
Yeah. I mean, and it's amazing. I think like minds tend to gravitate towards each other, and you are your circle. My dad used to tell me a long time ago, if you got 9 broke friends, you're going to be the 10th one. And your mindset, contributes to that. If you're always seeking guidance, financial guidance from a broke person, well, it's just common sense. But some of the things that you're speaking about right now, and I know it resonates with us as well as our viewers. So, again, I really, really appreciate you coming on. I'm excited because this is the first of 2 series that we have with you. We've got some time here, and I want to spend some time really focusing on, tapping into your expertise.
Great, yes.
Okay. Our viewers, there's a lot of folks out there right now that are looking to open a home-based business, looking to open a small business, brick and mortar business. They're looking for that small business loan. They've been told no. They've got an application about this high that they have to fill out. They don't think they have a chance. Based on your knowledge and your expertise, what kind of advice, and this time is for you, what kind of advice would you give that individual? How do they go about achieving those goals and those dreams of becoming an entrepreneur or business owner?
Great question. I mean, this country is based on small business. Based on small business. What is it? 550,000 small businesses start every single month.
Wow.
We got 29 million small businesses.
That's
right?
true.
Only 1% of them have over 500 employees.
That's
right?
very true.
But the vast majority of the banks are all throwing their money after the big companies. And the little guy, you, I mean, we're afterthought, right? We're high risk, right?
Yeah.
No one wants to date us, right? So we have to have all of our ducks in a row. We have to be financially astute, right? We have to go in there and say, listen, we teach people, okay, where you don't want to be begging people. You want to be so dynamic, so financially astute that bankers from coast to coast are running after you. And we do it by a few certain things. One, I call it look before you leap. Don't come at me talking about, I want money, but you haven't checked your credit in 90 days, or you don't know what's up there. I mean, literally, it could be your mama and them might mess up your credit, your cousin, sister, brother. The banker doesn't want to hear that story, right? Right now, you can check your credit on Experian.com for free. You can go to something I like to call Credit Karma. Check out your business credit. What is going on? I had a cousin the other day, 19 years old. He went into the bank and found out he has a car. He has $5,000 in assessed fees.
Wow.
But he just opened up the account and he doesn't drive. He doesn't have a car.
Right.
I mean, your identity theft is like running rampant. Check know what's going on.
Sure.
Look before you leap. It's free. That's the first thing. And if there's some issues, at the very minimum, 90 days before, check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? I mean, can we go through now?
Go ahead.
So that's the first thing. Look before you leap,
Okay.
right? And then once there's some issue, there's issues, just get that together. The next thing is, people come at me all day, like, I want a loan. Great, I'm excited. What do you want? I don't know. Wrong answer. What do you mean you want to come to me for a loan, but you don't know how much it is? I mean, right there, it's an L. You're taking an L. Like, I literally need to know how much you need.
Sure.
The third thing, how are you going to repay me? Huh? What? I got to repay you? Listen, that banker is not your equity partner. He's not getting 20, 30, 40%, 50% of your business.
Right.
So when you go there, you want to, not only do you say, I want to repay you because I have cash flow from businesses, I have equity in my house, I have a CD, I have cash flow from ongoing operations. I have 5 new contracts coming that's going to all bring in $5,000 a month.
Wow.
I'm only looking for $1,000 a month, and I have $100,000 worth of collateral. Worst case scenario, I'm still keep my day job where I make $2,000 a month. This loan will easily be paid. So I'm not bringing them one source of repayment. I'm bringing you 4 or 5 sources of repayment. So it's be ridiculous that they won't approve that loan. So we don't know how to do that. So a lot of times I tell a story about a guy called Wimpy. You guys familiar with Wimpy?
Wimpy.
From Popeye the Sailor Man. Everybody know Popeye the Sailor Man, right? Y'all remember the guy? I mean, so a lot of small business people are kind of like Wimpy, right? So they have this nice big black fedora and pretty suit. They got a pretty suit, right? Forgive me, right? I have a suit on. They have a nice tie, and he speaks really proper, and he sticks his chest out. And he said, I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. And that's what small businesses are.
Right.
They're smoke and mirrors. That was an incredible hustle.
For
35 years, he didn't just go, can we tell stories, right?
Please
He didn't just go into the bank, to the people, small businesses around him, right? And ask for, hey, can you help me out? He always went supersized, right? He just wanted the biggest, fattest sandwich there was. And there was never a time when he came back on a Tuesday to repay that loan. And that's how we as small business are. So we don't show a concrete plan on how we're going to give that man, that woman, that bank back their money. And because we fail to do that, they fail to lend to us.
So would you say that's the common mistake that you see with small business owners who are looking for funding? Or is there something that the people who come to you, they are, okay, this is the trend that I'm seeing that they all do not do, and this is one of the biggest reasons why they're unsuccessful?
Oh, that's one. Can we talk?
Please.
We family. We're in the living room now. You guys, listen, guys, literally, I had people who made millions of dollars by some of these things I'm teaching right now.
Right.
Basic things. Have another guy, we tell a story called, in one of the books called, we tell a story about my favorite movie of all time, Law Abiding Citizen. You remember that movie?
I do remember that.
With
Gerard
Butler and Jamie Foxx.
Yep.
The guy was murder and mayhem and all the stuff that's going on.
I remember.
And he literally was like, basically, he sat back like, listen, what's up? Like, but yeah, I did it. I did it. But it's not what you know, is what you can prove.
What you can prove.
And that's what it is with small businesses. I can't tell you how many nightclubs have come to me, how many C-stores have come to me and said, listen, we're making money hand over finger, we're balling out. Listen, but your numbers don't show it. He said, come to me. I had one nightclub, literally, it took 3 hours to get in. His expenses for valet parking was $40,000 a month.
Whoa.
That's how much he had to pay to park cars. His thing, he had 3 turns a night. Literally, he was making like about $8 million a year. His books only showed $1 million in revenue, right? So it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. He had 3 sets of books. He had 3 sets of books.
Yeah.
One for the IRS,
Right.
one for his wife, and one for his girlfriend. I mean, that's a different story, right? But the point really was, is not what you know, what you can prove. So when you come to me for funding, like literally, like I see your lines out there. I see how packed you are. I know that the Derek Jeters and Michael Jordans will go to your place to ball out and play pool, right? But at the end of the day, when your numbers on black and white have to be able to prove it.
Right.
And most people, they're making money hand over finger, but we can't. It looks like when you come to the bank, you can't afford to turn your water on and your light on at the same time without rushing to file bankruptcy. So we've got to be able to show numbers. We've got to have a great relationship with our accountant to say, listen, yeah, I don't want to pay taxes, but I need to be able to show that I have the ability to repay a loan,
Right.
to buy a building, to acquire a business that I can get for pennies on the dollar,
Sure.
and show that I'm financially astute, that we can win.
Right. I
Absolutely.
mean, that to me it's a lot of common sense, but it's a lot of things that I think a lot of people don't put emphasis on. So, we appreciate you coming on this episode and just really sharing some information with us. We got a whole nother episode.
Yes, we do.
That I'm looking forward to.
I definitely am.
And during that episode, I don't want to spill the beans too much, but we're actually going to get into some of your books and talk a little bit more in depth about investing and, really just I guess, drawing from your overall experience. I know after the episode's over, I want to sit with you and talk some more.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we definitely want to thank our guests for coming out.
But before we do, where can people find you?
Oh, yes, definitely.
What is your website, your Twitter, your Instagram? Tell them all of that.
Everything The Funding Guy. TheFundingGuy.com.
Okay.
Facebook, thefundingguy.com. Literally, if you really want to connect with me, follow me on Facebook, my personal, Edward Felder.
Okay.
Like literally, I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and write inspirational things, whether it's about winning, whether it's about financing.
Nice.
You absolutely have to go there.
Money doesn't sleep.
And neither does he, and neither do we. So here we are. Well, thank you everybody so much for joining us. Thank you, Edward Felder. We look forward to the next time that you are on our show. You were dynamic.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll see you next time. Everybody, thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for our next show. See you soon. Bye. Hey family, if you enjoyed today's show, please be sure to follow Inspired by a Message on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. We would love to hear your story and any story that has inspired you with a message. So like us and check us out. Can't wait to hear from you. Bye-bye.